Hey guys, this is Rachel, and today's tip I want to talk about how we can stop escalation from happening with our kids. So, this could be a tantrum, when you see a tantrum starting and then all of a sudden they're on the floor and it escalates and it's more dramatic, they're louder, they're moving all over the house, whatever. Meltdowns when one child starts to get upset and then the other one does, maybe they're fighting, or really any situation that's kind of out of control. Um, and what I like to do, I like to do something I call breaking in. So I like to sort of try to break into the moment to stop it from going forward. So one of the way that I do this is I'll clap really loud. I don't want to make the microphone squeal, but I'll clap really loud. So if I hear my daughter or my son start to yell, I'll just clap. And that kind of stops the moment long enough for them to look up. And often that's enough for them to stop their own behavior because, particularly if you follow baby wise, your children have that built-in level of self-control that you've been growing in them. So if you give them a chance to get back to it, often I find, not every time, meanwhile, but often they'll sort of stop and come back to themselves. Another thing I like to do is say, hey, loud, I mean, I talk loud. I'm a loud person anyway, so this might not come naturally to you, but even if your voice is a little bit louder than normal, I think it'll work. I'll say, hey, and that'll bring their attention back to me and do the other. And often if they look at me, then they're kind of having to say, oh, there's mommy, here's my brother who I was going to clock with the, rolling pin from the kitchen. And seeing me and looking in my eyes is often enough to stop them. Particularly if it's a tantrum or if they're sort of blowing up about something that they wanted, they thought I said no. If they look at me, then often, and I have their attention, they can calm down enough that I can maybe explain, because sometimes they want to fly off the handle when there actually is no good reason. You know, toddlers aren't, and preschoolers aren't always rational, so that getting them to stop what they're doing and look helps. Or if they're sort of fighting or messing with each other, or they're both trying to pull on something and I can see they're both gonna fall or hit the wall or roll down the hill or hit the fence or fall on the tile, all these things that kids do when you're not looking and when you are looking. I'll just go stand right there. And sometimes I'll stand in between them. And you don't have to do much, you don't have to say anything, and often it just kind of breaks that moment. So again, my tip how to stop things from escalating is to break into the moment. So that might mean something totally different to you. Some people really hate yelling, so don't send me hate mail if you think saying something loudly is going to damage your kids, but just somehow get in there and stop them, because I think if you're consistently doing all of the things that as mothers we want to do anyway, help them to make good decisions, that you're preventing their that rise of emotion, that protective instinct or anger instinct from taking over their good sense. So think about that next time you really need to stop something, especially if you're in public or in church or somewhere. Just try to break into that moment.